When we think about changing our lives, we often imagine making big, dramatic shifts. We picture overnight success, massive transformation, or sudden breakthroughs. But in the very first chapter of Atomic Habits by James Clear, we learn that true and lasting change rarely happens in a single leap. Instead, it's the small, consistent habits, the atomic habits, that create remarkable results over time. James Clear begins with a personal story from his own life. In high school, he suffered a terrible accident when a baseball bat struck his head. The injury was life-changing. He faced months of recovery and a long road of struggle. At that point, it seemed impossible that he would ever return to his normal life, let alone achieve any kind of success. But he did recover, not overnight, not through one giant effort, but through tiny steps. Day by day, he improved little by little. He rebuilt his strength, his confidence, and his ability to perform. Looking back, James realized that the secret to his progress wasn't willpower or luck. It was the power of small habits, done consistently over time. This sets the stage for the main idea of the chapter, that habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. Just as money multiplies when it earns compound interest, the effects of your habits multiply as you repeat them. At first, the changes are so small, they almost seem invisible. But if you keep going, they build into something powerful. Imagine improving yourself by just 1% each day. That sounds tiny, almost meaningless. But if you add up that 1% improvement day after day, the results become extraordinary. Over the course of a year, those tiny daily gains compound into a massive difference. On the other hand, if you let yourself decline by 1% each day, the effects compound in the opposite direction. Small bad habits, repeated over time, quietly drag us down. James explains that this is why habits matter so much. They're not just small routines. They're the building blocks of our identity and our future. They determine whether time becomes your ally or your enemy. With good habits, time works for you, amplifying your progress. With bad habits, time works against you, multiplying the damage. Think of a few examples. If you save a little money every month, you slowly build wealth. If you spend a little more than you should every month, you slowly build debt. If you read a few pages a day, you eventually finish dozens of books. If you skip that daily reading, you stay stuck where you are. These choices seem small in the moment, but over the months and years, they shape your entire life. Clear also points out that it's easy to underestimate the power of small habits because the results aren't immediately visible. Going to the gym once won't transform your body. Eating a healthy meal won't suddenly change your health. But when you repeat those actions again and again, the long-term impact becomes undeniable. The same is true for negative choices. Skipping one workout won't make you unhealthy. Eating one slice of cake won't ruin your diet. But repeated over time, those choices quietly add up. That's why the first chapter of Atomic Habits is so powerful. It shifts our focus from chasing big goals to paying attention to the little things we do every day. Instead of worrying about achieving huge success all at once, we should focus on building small habits that align with who we want to become. Because over time, those small changes add up to a new identity and a new life. And that's the core message James Clear leaves us with at the end of Chapter 1. Success is not about radical change, but about the tiny atomic habits we choose, repeated consistently over time. The question we must ask ourselves is simple. Are the habits I'm building today working for me or against me?